Helen, I'll start with you. Yuri struggles to communicate and connect a lot when we meet her in the beginning of the film, but she really finds her path through meeting Ochi and connecting with her new little animal friend. How was this dynamic sort of challenging or fun to explore as an actor to play a character who is struggling to communicate and connect and then ends up doing so through an animal instead of a person?
It was so fun. I feel like it has this really deep message, but also this very fun, sort of childish just way of shooting. I feel like every child, had like stuffed animals that they desperately like wanted to talk to or wanted to like come alive. So it was kind of like a child's dream come true to act with such a thing, a puppet. Um, and then it was also incredible because, we created a bond, like a connection between a human being and then something that isn't actually alive. And we talked about this a lot, that it's like you don't need language, you don't need to understand someone, you don't have to share the same opinion to like show love and empathy and to help each other. And I feel like this is really a story of two souls helping each other, not just Yuri saving the Ochi, but also, the Ochi being the friend that Yuri would have needed or needs her whole life. And that, that adventure with the Ochi really like changes her forever, probably.
Definitely. And it all feels very real, even though we're in this fantasy world. Now, Finn, I know you have worked on plenty of fantasy and sci-fi stuff before,
Totally.
Stranger Things and Ghostbusters, but those worlds have a lot of post-production helping out the other
Yeah,
world elements. What was it like to get to work with puppets and practical effects and all that in Ochi?
it was amazing. I mean, that's like a huge reason why well, agreed, like, or why I really wanted to do the movie, was to have this sort of like to be a part of this like practical approach. And there's something to be said, obviously, about visual effects and like how much artistry goes into that. But when you're on set as an actor, it's so freeing and fun to be acting with practical things because you can just react how you would react. Like you don't have to try to imagine something. It's just right there in front of you. So it makes things, I think, a lot easier. Yeah.
Definitely. Helena, what was your reaction to seeing your little Ochi buddy for the first time?
When I first met him, it was in London, like 4 years ago, and he was quite ugly because he didn't have fur on him, so
No.
he just looked weird. I was like, this is supposed to be cute. Like, where is it? And so that was the first time. But then when I got to see him with the fur on, I just fell in love. He's so cute. He's such a baby. I want to take him home.
So was the pre-fur, was that sort of a hairless cat situation, or is it like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
metal
that's what it was
frame?
like. No, totally. It was a hairless weirdo thing. It didn't look like the actual Ochi in the end at all. But I'm glad I got to see it. I had a feeling for him then, and then I was like, oh no, he's so cute.
There you go. Good upgrade. I like that. All right, last question for you guys. If you had to pick a movie that would be a good double feature to watch with The Legend of Ochi, what would you pick?
E.T. probably.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's a great answer.
good choice,
Um,
good choice.
I was thinking about yesterday. What would be a good, maybe like, hmm. Honestly, it's such a hard question because what's cool about this movie is that like, it's an adventure movie, it's a family movie, but it's also like kind of a weirdo art movie as well. So like, there's so many movies that are going through my brain that are like more sort of, yeah, like fantasy. Like there's Neverending Story, maybe Neverending Story would be a good one. um but then you have a bunch of art films, and like there's so many films, specifically like there's a lot of Eastern European, I feel like, art films or like independent films that would be great, but just for the sake of this, maybe Neverending Story.
That's a good choice. You can take it in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both so much for talking with me.
Thank you.